Hello and welcome. We're at the Audi MedCup in Cagliari in Sardinia for the third leg of the 2011 season. The conditions here today have been pretty fresh, very interesting place to sail and also a nice place to be a tourist. Cagliari is one of the oldest cities in Sardinia and a very favourite venue for sailing. Welcome to our show. It's the first show of the third event of the year. And I'm joined today with two race winners, Victorino from Container and Paolo Bassani from All for One. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks to you, good evening.
So we're going to look at the first two events of the year of 2011, go back to Cagliari in Sardinia and Marseille for the first two gigs.
The Region of Sardinia trophy marks the halfway point in the Audi MedCup series. 3 events in and the title contenders are starting to make themselves known. The last event, the Marseille trophy, was tough. Conditions were a confusing mix of light and shifty and a brisk mistral. In the Soto 40 series, Spanish team Iberdrola continued their dominance and retained the overall lead. While in the TP52 series, overall leader Quantum Racing found a staunch rival in Germany's Container team, who took the trophy.
We have to keep our foot on the floor and we have to keep focused and to keep working a lot because the rest of the fleets have a really good level and we have to keep there.
But we're only halfway there. Anything can happen in the battle for the Audi MedCup.
Two events, Quantum was the dominant team, but Container, having won the second event, started to show that this new team were very much in there to be looked at. And Audi All for One, unfortunately, didn't have a very good 2 first events. We'll get onto that a bit more later, but that was the situation as we went in to Cagliari. And today was the first race. We had a pretty exciting situation. It was windy. It was forecast to be windy. Victor, the Mistral was all there for us today.
Yeah, finally the Mistral arrives. It's a typical Mistral conditions that you can be in Cagliari and do regattas there. We know that some of the days in Cagliari are windy for sure, and this is a really nice wind to have a spectacular races, and it's tough for the sailors and for the sportsmen here, but it's really spectacular for everybody who follow us, the regattas.
Paolo, you've sailed here many times before in these sort of conditions, and you showed the way around today, but it's one of your favorite places to race in Italy?
Yeah, it's one of the best, and it's also, as you said, a nice place to be here for holiday, for sure. And today was a good day for us, so for me, being first in Italy, it's even better.
Okay, well let's go out and have a look at the first race of the TP52s today. Ran started powerfully at the committee boat and sailed a strong first beat on the extra long course. At the top mark, Ran led from Quantum and the Russian Synergy. The fresh breezes made for excited downwind sailing, and with all boats powered up to the max, with all crews stacked as far aft as possible. As the boats took their various routes downwind, it was the fast Container that stayed longest on starboard jibe in a strong puff of wind. Container's last jibe, while still in the puff, saw them move past everyone and lead at the gate with almost 100 metres. A last jibe for Bribon and Audi Azzurra saw a boat handling error on the Italian boat. The call was to drop the spinnaker early and the retrieval line came in on tight before the halyard was let off. The spinnaker burst and flew out from the top of the mast like a flag. As they converged on the gate, Bribon, already rounded, sailed straight into the spinnaker and got it draped around their mast. It took some time and a man up the mast before the sail could finally be removed and their second place was lost. The second beat was complex towards the end with wildly fluctuating wind directions, allowing Ran to get back into the race and close up on Container at the top mark. Quantum also managed to get back in. The last run saw the 2011 series leaders Quantum make a poor tactical decision as they jived away from the favourable side of the course in lesser winds. This saw them drop from 3rd to 6th at the finish, a most unusual position for a team such as this. Well, yeah, first race, Victor, you guys definitely seem to be the class act downwind, but there was a bit of work to do after the first beat.
Yeah, we was in not so good position after the first beat. We was the last in the position of the fleet, but this fleet is really close. And then in downwind we saw some puffs coming in one side. We go there. Amis did a really good decision to go there to catch the puff. The reason is the fleet is really close, and as much as you have something special, a special path or something, you can cross the rest of the fleet. Fortunately, we can cross the fleet and run the bottom mark in first position, and this was more control of the race in this moment.
Well, let's go and have a look at the second race now, which was also not too bad. Fresh winds again kept the TP52 crews on their toes. Boat handling was going to be as important as boat speed as the race progressed. From the start, the Franco-German Audi All-for-One leapt off the start line at the left-hand end and stuck firmly to the left the whole way up the first beat. Initially, it looked like her sister ship, Audi Azzurra, was going to be the leader at the first mark as they dominated the group that took the right. The fresh conditions, however, kept everyone on their toes, and Audi All-for-One rounded ahead of the Italians and then Synergy and Bribon. But with a long, wide course, fresh gusts and ambitious teams, the downwind legs were always going to see changes. The German team of Container, who hadn't had a particularly good first leg, set their spinnaker fast and started off at high speed down the run. The leaders, the Audi pair, were enjoying a strong battle, with the Italian team slowly overhauling her red sister ship. As the pair approached the leeward mark, it was time for one last jibe. The leader jibed, with the Italians getting hit by a gust and accelerating past, realizing they needed to jibe and drop their spinnaker fast if they were not going to sail past the gate. The extra gust made it difficult, a moment of hesitation and the spinnaker was out of control, completely compromising the Italians' rounding. Meanwhile, the Germans had stormed down the course and managed to slip inside Synergy to take the second place on offer. The status quo remained unchanged and Audi All-for-One crossed the finish line, taking their second win of the season. Container consolidated their lead of the Sardinia trophy with a second place. But the biggest surprise of the day was the poor performance of the 2011 Audi MedCup circuit leader, Quantum Racing. Their two races gave them 2 sixth places, putting Container now within just 2 points of the 2011 series lead. Well, there's the scoreboard after the first 2 races here for the Sardinia Trophy in Cagliari. Container on top with just 3 points from Audi All-for-One, that's having a very strong regatta here with consistent results. But the big surprise there is to see Quantum right at the bottom of the pile in 7th place. I think we've got a long way to go still on this. But Paolo, tell us about that race of yours. You were pretty sure about the left-hand side, weren't you, today?
Yes, Sebastian was asking for the pin onto Jochen, and Jochen did it perfectly on the start. And then Sebastian was convinced to go left, so we took the risk. He took the risk because he's taking the risk. And at one point he didn't look so good, but then a very, very big lefty came, and we were on the first mark first. So
but that you led all the way around, except for that very short time just near the gate with Audi Azzurra when they were pushing it. But that was, they were going a lot faster down the end of that.
Yeah,
run.
They came with a puff, a big puff, that at the end it didn't help them very much because they ended up overlay, so they didn't do a good drop.
So Container, so what about that? Victor, your results, you came back well strong into that race again.
Yeah, I think in these particular days, windy conditions is really important to manage and how to do the maneuvers and everything. And sometimes some boats are really fast, but if you have any mistake in any maneuver, you can lose positions. Fortunately today we did a really good job, crew job, and everything worked properly and the systems. And this gives to us the opportunity to be in the middle of the fleet and win regattas, I think.
Well, that's very good. We've got the 2 race winners here. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. We've got 2 more races tomorrow and the first of the Soto 40 races on day 2 of the Sardinia Trophy Audi MedCup.